Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James with the Games. Happy Sunday, folks. Sunday. It's Sunday. Happy Sunday, folks. Ooh, looking kind of shiny, but yeah. I'm going to solve the window mystery. I mean, the window itself is, I can't change the apartment building. But I'm going to solve the mystery of where should I put that thing to improve my experience. You know what? No one said good morning yet, and that's acceptable to me. I got to pick. Yeah. I didn't think ahead, so I have no customized fonts for our game that we're starting today. Maybe by next week. I'll do some stuff. But it's been a time. But here we are, and I'm excited, and I hope you're excited if you're there, or if you're watching later on video on demand. I hope you're excited. We're going to play Dreams in the Witch House. The game itself is not by H.P. Lovecraft. The game is by, well, in the GOG app, it just has an M dash by developer. So hopefully the developer has credited themselves within the game. But this is a game that Cedric told me about. Cedric is a vital source for me on cool contemporary stuff that is not like obvious. I didn't need Cedric to tell me what Mina the Hollower, and I'd heard of the Crimson Diamond, but it was Cedric that reminded me that this was a thing that I should obviously do. And Cedric told me about this, and it's like, well, frick, I love Lovecraft, not because I endorse his problematic, politics. In fact, I think they're wrong. But because I like his work for other reasons, the reasons that it's good and lasting. There's all kinds of Lovecraftian influence, especially in video games nowadays. And it very little of it is about the anti-miscegenation themes. It's all about cosmic horror. And yeah, Dreams in the Witch House should be cool as a game. If you are familiar with Lovecraft's oeuvre, I don't know how to pronounce it. It just occurred to me as I said it that I've literally never heard that. I've seen that word in print a million times, and I've never heard it out loud in 41 years. I need to open a window. Hang tight. I suppose I could also take the sweater off, but it's a nice sweater. Jimmy! Yeah, one thing about Lovecraft's fiction, and with the exception, oeuvre. Thank you, Jimmy. With the exception of his later, he did some collaborative stories with younger authors late in his career. So I've not read those, but I have read everything else. And one thing I can confirm is that, yeah, his stories have a very sterile feel to them in the sense that, and from what I understand, he was aware of this and viewed it as a flaw in his own writing. But for one thing, he did not have a strong sense of character. So there's a few characters sort of that are notable at all in his entire body of work. But for the most part, his narrators are they have his personality. And then the other thing is that I don't know whether he saw this as a flaw. And I haven't read those. I've read his published works that did not have co-authors. And I should probably read the ones with co-authors. But yeah, there's very little dialogue. And often when there are conversations between characters, they're reported in an almost, even when it's not an epistolary story, the narrator is telling you that a conversation happened in a very, not in a way where we're getting good dialogue on the page. And then also, there's almost no action. The Shadow over Innsmouth, which is a very problematic story if you the nice thing about Shadow over Innsmouth has the anti-miscegenation themes in a big way, except that they're all symbolic in a way that we don't have to accept as modern readers. You can read Shadow over Innsmouth and just be like, wow, yeah, this is a scary story about the people in this small town like interbreeding with ancient fish monsters from the depths. And you don't have to grant old Howard P. His next step of being like, and this is what it would be like if an Irishman wanted to marry your daughter. You know, you could just say, no, that's not actually a good metaphor for that, but the story's cool. Yeah, no women. uh, and yeah, so like Shadow of Innsmouth isn't the only action scene, but it has a really good action scene, so it stands out because it's like, holy shit, it's such a good action scene that there's a video game adaptation, not this one we're gonna play, like a first-person shooter, but it's like an adventure, but it has like a first-person shooter type engine style game from the early 2000s that just like verbatim the like passage of the short story is just like a sequence you play through. And I haven't played it, but I've watched videos of it. And it's thrilling. So he, like it's weird because he had it in him, and he did it like once really notably. And then I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 like actual moments of action tension. And otherwise, it's all just building dread and cool themes and stuff. You could broadly divide his oeuvre into at least of his like mature work. A lot of his early stuff is kind of straight ahead gothic fiction, you know, finding his voice. But oh, absolutely, absolutely, Jimmy. And it also made a great DLC for Bloodborne. If anyone's ever played the Bloodborne DLC, uh, you can't get to the end of that and still have a question in your mind of whether Hidetaka Miyazaki has ever read Shadows over Innsmouth. But the Bloodborne DLC has fucking action too, even more than Shadows over Innsmouth. Not that I think the Shadows over Innsmouth short story would be improved by like a beachside fight where the narrator used a sword cane to kill the orphaned, you know, the born from a dead mother godchild. Uh, my goodness, I did take my ADHD medication before we got started today, but I'm fired up. I don't know why. Um, but you could kind of divide his mature work into the cosmic horror stuff about ancient gods and crossing lines you should not cross. Uh, and the cosmic horror stuff is still also there in his science fiction tinted stuff, but like there are literal aliens in addition to the alien gods, like science fictiony stuff, and then his dream stuff, and all of this stuff. You know, Cthulhu exists in all of them, even though Cthulhu is really just focused on one story. Uh, yeah, the dream stuff. So I think like that's where we're getting. I should have reread the Dreams in the Witch House. I will for next week. I commit to that. But where's my Kindle? I can see it. I have eyes on it. Okay, I will. Um, but I remember really liking it, and I'm excited. This is cool. Like all of my gaming Lovecraft, like not people using Lovecraft influences, but doing straight up kind of Lovecraft stuff, has been Call of Cthulhu, the tabletop RPG, and I've exclusively done pure Elder Gods cosmic horror, body horror type stuff in that. And actually, I did the dead from the past reaching, ancient ancestor trying to possess you. Can't even remember which Lovecraft story that exactly is, but it's a really good one. Yeah, I remember the imagery being real, you know, taking advantage of the fact that it's dreams. And in less of a, there's also the dream quest of unknown Kadath, which is like, it's almost like he's doing C. Auguste Dupin. No, that's not, God damn it. C. Auguste Dupin is the Edgar Allan Poe detective, the proto Sherlock Holmes. Who am I thinking of? Hold on. I'm going to the Wikipedia page for what the hell? August Derleth. There we are. No, not Derleth. Fuck. Sorry. We're going to play the game. But hold on. I'm waking up my Kindle specifically so I can find out the name of this one author. To my library. Surely I will be able to find this thing. Yeah, like I haven't read Derleth's work to any great degree, but I am familiar with him. Like as a character in Lovecraft's own story. How can I not? You know, it takes forever to browse through your Kindle library. Kindle's a good product in many ways. Okay, I wish I could just look at a list of my books and collections. Ah, I found it. Clark Ashton Smith. Yeah, The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath reminds me a lot of Clark Ashton Smith, who wrote really good, vivid fantasy stories that also are really bad at having action in them. But it's like an adventure, and it does kind of a. It's like I bet Stephen King. I bet was thinking about it a bit when he did Dark Tower because it brings in some snatches of characters and creatures from his other story. Anyway, Dreams in the Witch House is more of a scary thing. Let's play it. Okay. I might suddenly lose access to being able to see the screen because I only remembered to install this game. Yeah, okay. It's launching in full screen, but it's cooperating to drop into a window. The developer, it's called Atom Brain Games, and I'm going to capture them now. What window? Capture this window. Excellent. Resizing it. Yeah, kind of the thing I've always read about Derleth. I guess I'm going to do full screen with me covering part of it, and if that turns out to be obnoxious because of where the game displays stuff, we can adjust. So I'm coming back, don't worry. Here I am. I'll make myself a little smaller. And I'm 41 years old. I can only benefit from appearing smaller, especially if I'm in high def. Okay, make sure the chat is above the game. It is now. Should be. I'm not gonna bring the little stupid logo because it's barely a logo. I need to make a logo. It's one of my summer projects. Okay, I believe we're set up for this. Let me know how the volume mix is. I definitely need to turn it down a bit. My own ears. Now, this is a good tune. Atom Brain Games, our developer. Excellent. Thank you, Jimmy. Okay. Good portentous music. Like, you know what? For a dream cycle Lovecraft, and maybe a few, like, if Guillermo del Toro ever got to make his At the Mountains of Madness, which I feel like if he just stuck to the story, even though, they like make some characters to be in the story and stuff, but if he just stuck to the general outline, I think it would be like the best Guillermo del Toro film since, Pan's Labyrinth, the one everyone loves. That should have some sweeping, exciting music with like, flying, shots, tracking shots of the Antarctic landscape and stuff. I think a lot of Lovecraft should probably start with less heavy-handed, but I think for Dreams in the Witch House, this works. I like the look. There's something about the purple, the pinkish purple color, that It's not like it's an otherworldly color, but when you set it against this otherwise muted gothic palette, it does immediately make me think of one of Lovecraft's science fiction stories, The Color Out of Space. The film adaptation starring Nicolas Cage, I somehow didn't even know. I knew that film adaptation had happened, and then I just never saw it. I never got around to seeing it. I heard that it got good reviews, and that was exciting for me. And I still somehow managed to make it until last month without knowing Nicolas Cage is the star. Oh, is that right? It's definitely, it's top 10 for me for sure. Probably top 5. I'd have to like sit down with a list though at this point. And like The Rats in the Walls is so good, except yeah, it's time to drop the hammer. Lengthy blush cree. Boom. Catch you never, lengthy blush cree. To the cornfield with you. Yeah. So like, yeah, Rats on the Walls is a good story, except see, like the racism in The Rats on the Walls is less ideological, so technically less offensive than Shadows over Innsmouth, except that you can just read Shadows over Innsmouth and in your own mind say, I don't grant that this is an analogy for, like, you know, if your daughter marries an ethnic. Whereas, you know, the extraordinarily racist, like the cat who is named a racial slur is just a cat named a racial slur. You can't divorce, you can't be like, oh, well, you know, you just have to be like, you know, this sucks, but I don't endorse it, I swear. Okay. That's enough ado. Let's play. I want it on normal. I will take tutorials. I will not be taking Iron Man mode at this stage. Hold on. What happens if I check the box? Do I get different text? Oh. This is not what I expected Iron Man mode would even be. But I think I'm going to, even though I try to play without doing too much save scumming and stuff, I think I will just proceed. Okay. The way it's designed to be played. Full experience with a real challenge. From what I understand, this is a point-and-click adventure game with RPG elements. Yeah, I don't think I've ever put an Iron Man mode on in a game that doesn't have it by default, but I love roguelikes. But I think, especially for the sake of, you know, getting through the game on the stream and then moving on to other adventure games, we'll go with a more open thing. I'll try to play with as few alternate saves as possible. And to the extent, I don't know how much choices, I bet choices matter in this game. But if they do, I'll try to, you know, live with the consequences of the choices I made the first time. All right, that's enough ado. I've got about 2 hours from now, starting now, to play this game today. So, are you happy with the room? Everything is okay? So you are happy with the room? Everything is okay? Yes, I think so. Your aunt has paid the rent for the next 2 months. I didn't realize it was a woman speaking. Your room will be cleaned, and your firewood will be replenished on Mondays. There's also a mailbox in the lobby that is reserved for you. Okay, thanks. I think I'll manage here. If you have questions, my room is next to the stairs. Just keep the noise down and follow the house rules. My first apartment. It's nothing to write home about, but I kind of like it. Well, I guess I should head out to the university, check my exam dates, and start to study. Or I could finally start to work on my theory paper. All right, controller tutorial. Left click to interact. Right click to look or deselect item. Okay, so we're not getting the Sierra tray of verb icons. M for map. T for to-do list. Escape from menu. Space to pause, which suggests to me there are going to be moments where action responses are going to matter. To open the character bar, move the mouse cursor to the top of the screen. For more help, select Wikipedia or Controls in the game menu. Game saved. Okay, well, then I don't need to do my own save. The character bar displays Walter's inventory, stats, skills, and current modifiers. Hover mouse over stats and skills to see a more detailed value. Hover mouse over any active modifier like hungry or tired to see how it is affecting Walter. Okay. I'm healthy. I am sane, I think. I assume 10 is good. I am not great at math and I know nothing of the occult. I'd have to check my course schedule to find out about exams. So I guess I have to actually, Clef. Unless it's a percent scale. I swear, I'm 1/10 the sane as the average man. Wait, bring this up a little. Fix my eye line. There we go. Okay. Ah, not sick. That's good. I'm not sick. I'm rested. I'm warm. I'm dry and uninjured. But I am a mite peckish. I have a wallet with $12. You know what? Like, we don't need to get into all the ways that almost regardless of your political leanings, his presidency was ultimately a grave disappointment. But one thing, and for that matter, even on this issue, not always great. But a thing I loved one moment I love of Joe Biden is that moment of a reporter trying to hit him with a gotcha question about how many genders are there as he's walking away. And he goes, at least 3. Just keeps going, just blows him off. Map of Arkham. Let's have a look, shall we? I better pick up my math books before I leave. Oh, so the map is like a fast travel thing. Pocket calendar. Can I look at the pocket calendar? It's my pocket calendar, where I add all the upcoming events and dates. Wait, I left clicked. If I right clicked, it's Monday, March 1st, 1929. I have no upcoming events. Waffle syrup. Oh, nobody can see, but Waffle syrup just resubscribed, which I always dearly appreciate. 53 months. So that's how long I've been an affiliate. He's been down since day one. I have like no time to even promote this to people who might watch this stream and also live in this area. But mark your calendar for July 24th, Waffle syrup. And I'll tell you more later. I have one food. Oh no, I'm getting tired as I look at this. Notes and letters. And if I right click, do I get to look at them? Yes. My to-do list. Walter keeps track of tasks in his to-do list. He receives a small amount of sanity when a task is completed. I know that feeling. Less so now. When I had my undiagnosed ADHD, this was actually just how I managed to function. Just like, if I can keep just getting enough tasks done, I can hover around like a 3 or a 4 on the sanity meter. Excellent. It is exactly what you'd expect. A drag show. Oh, you know what? Brief aside for the exact opposite of cosmic horror. Just outright fabulousness. One moment. Not this. So much better than this now. Although I gave a much better performance when I wore that look. This was the look for the worst drag performance I've ever given in my life, which still wasn't that bad, you know, which is comforting. I did as bad as I think I can possibly do, and everyone still told me I did really good. And I don't think they were lying to me. Oh, they were thinking, you know, she's new. But yes. Whoo. Holy smokes. I wish in this picture, that's Kirby. Like a Kirby keychain hanging from my... Yeah, this came together quickly. I don't have a good picture of the look that I showed up in. The look I showed up in was like cooler than that one. But the only picture I have so far, my wig had slipped a little. You can see my man hair. Doesn't work. I need to Photoshop it. Well, I need to GIMP it. I'm not Photoshopping anything. Okay, back in business. Enough about my cross-dressing. And T will open this. Okay, get a B or better on an exam, work on theory papers, check my course schedule. Great. Cool. So what do we have here? Papers. I'll take the theory papers with me. Boom. Now I can really start to work on my theory. I'm sure I will find good source material in Miskatonic University's library. I'm not going to make a note of this hint. I think I know how to do this. I might even be able to study the rare special collection tomes. So this game is using the Scum font, isn't it? One moment. I'm going to change the chat font. Okay. Family portrait. Take a look. It's our family portrait. Aunt Margaret is to the left, Aunt Hazel to the right, and I'm standing in the middle. It's a recent photograph. We took it last Christmas. Comma splice. But, you know, when you're talking out loud to yourself, you can have a comma splice. Check the calendar. It's my wall calendar, where I add all the upcoming events and dates. It's Monday, March 1st, 1929. I have no upcoming events. If anyone here is a, you know, unfun Call of Cthulhu purist, I see memes sometimes making fun of the idea that you would use a Southie accent for any character. Do a bad Southie when you're playing Call of Cthulhu. As soon as the correct character comes on screen, I will be doing a terrible Southie for them. Let's get these math. I'll be needing my math books. But like, huh, there's a big rat hole in the wall. I hope it's uninhabited. Well, what could go wrong if you get down on your knees and peer into the hole? It's a nasty, big rat hole. Looks empty. But the hole goes deeper into the darkness. It's too dark to see anything in there. Oh, Walter. I think you're going to be going deeper into the darkness. There's also a nasty, rank-smelling odor coming from the hole. It's a chest. I guess this is where the firewood is stored. I'll take a few logs with me. What? Why? Fuel for the fire. Okay, so we don't have a weight. We're not trying to... There's some RPG stats in this game, obviously. But they don't include encumbrance limits. A nice view of Arkham. The lamp is switched off. It's the switch for the lamp. It's a cheap mantle clock. I had to stop it because of its noisy ticking. Okay. We're on the move. Time advances in the background as Walter explores the world. Actions like sleeping, studying, and resting advance time for several hours. Time is stopped when examining the map, notes, or archives, and during dialogue. The symbol that means that you would see, and which I had seen and had interpreted to mean time is not flowing right now, means that. that a coin that we can take? No. It looks like the plant is dead. Framed notice. House rules. 1. No pets. Good. 2. No children. I don't want to know what Walter calls his cat. 3. Silence begins at 9 p.m. 4. No overnight guests. 5. Rooms will be cleaned on Mondays at noon. Mrs. Dombrowski runs a tight ship. It's a rusty old bucket. A crude cloth sack is hanging on its side. A row of mailboxes. Mine is in the middle. Do you have any mail? I've got some mail. There's a letter addressed to me. The postage stamp is from Haverhill. Read the letter. It's a letter from Aunt Margaret. Dear Walter, I hope the move went nicely. Have you already settled in? A new city can feel strange at first, but you'll get used to it, I'm sure. I've paid Mrs. Dombrowski 2 months' rent in advance, so don't worry about that. I'll send you a weekly allowance every Monday by mail. For motivation, should you need it, I'll send you a little extra if you do well in your exams. Needless to say, we are very proud of you. I know your mother is too, even if she can't say it. Is she just dead? I'm sure you'll make the most of this opportunity. Don't study too hard, and remember to rest. Your affectionate aunt, Margaret. P.S. I found some of your belongings still here. I will mail them to you tomorrow. Okay. Nice of her to check up on me already. Also, good to know I can earn some extra money by doing well on my exams. Oh. Yeah. Knowing that you can get some money somehow, it's always gonna be good for your sanity. All right, we got to tell her about the rat hole, right? Surely. Knock, knock. Yeah, geez. Yes. What is it now? Crazy. You really think there'd be a dialogue option for there's a rat. So my face obviously is going to be a problem. Perhaps next week I'll swap the setup around so I can be on the other side of the screen. For today, I'll just ask you to trust me that the only words that are covered there are ask about, and then there's a third option for leave. Maybe we can get some rat hole information here, but start. Can you tell me the house rules again? You just fucking read them. Your room will be cleaned and your firewood will be replenished on Mondays at noon. Just keep the noise down and don't cause any trouble. Okay, thank you. From what I've heard, this house has a colorful history. What? I mean, I've heard rumors that apparently, they are just rumors. You shouldn't listen to them. Those things happened over 2 centuries ago. Yes, but I'm quite interested in this topic. Could you tell me more about the history of the house? I have no time for this. Did you have anything else to ask? Goodbye. Hey, Gilman. So he's Walter Gilman. If you want to earn some loose change, I might have some odd jobs for you. What kind of work are we talking about? Raking the yard, cleaning the rain gutters, and so forth. It's a big house, so there's always some chores to do. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Goodbye, then. So, my general impression so far, we haven't even gotten to anything, is that I'm really, really digging this game. But I will say it's an odd note that we discovered a giant rat hole with a filthy smell coming out of it in our room right after we moved in. But we're not allowed to, we don't get a dialogue option to complain about it to the manager. Let's go to old Miskatonic University. Hold on. Let's look at the map of Arkham. Walter can fast travel by using the map. Press M to open the map, or you can do what I just did. Press any key to continue. Okay. Lodging house, downtown, coffee house, Miskatonic University. Here we are in Arkham, Massachusetts. Miskatonic. It's impossible to find parking around Miskatonic University. I'm sorry, anybody from New England, but we're doing this. I gotta believe at some point there'll be a speakeasy, but that's probably just because I always work a speakeasy into my Lovecraft investigations. All right, have a good time, Waffle Syrup. See you again soon, I hope. Ever since I was a little boy, I've wanted to study here. I must make the most of this opportunity. It's a nice-looking automobile. It must belong to one of the professors. Yeah, anyone who works at a university can surely afford a top-of-the-line automobile. I should check my course schedule and see what book I need to study. Okay. So 10 must be the max sanity because I didn't go up to 10.5. Oh, is the course schedule? I don't know. It probably was more like that, more regimented in the 1920s. There's not one course schedule at Modern University. My next course is organic chemistry. Required reading for the course is Elements of Chemistry. Should be available in the library upstairs. Next lecture is March 4th. Next exam is March 10th. I'll add the dates to my calendar. Okay, we don't actually get to look at the calendar, but good to know. All right, we got to get good at organic chemistry. It's all just simple math. But we're only a 1 in math, so. Better, wait, hold on. Can we talk to our classmates? Student assistant. Excuse me. I'm very busy right now, and I can't be disturbed. Please go away. Maybe I can hit on this. I have nothing to say to her. Let her read her book. He's a Lovecraft protagonist. The woman who minds his lodgings and the aunt who sends him money. The only women he has time for. A student is reading a book. She's the librarian. If I want to borrow something, I need to go through her. Anything else of note? It's a massive fireplace, built to keep the study warm in the cold Massachusetts winters. Well, the girl reading her book doesn't. She doesn't even get to say, "Buzz off, Ned." What's this plaque say? Dr. Henry Armitage, the head librarian. A student is reading a book. Well, yes, let's just talk to the librarian, see if we can get our organic chemistry book. Hold on. It might. I think it probably won't. Wait, T for to-do list. There. Okay, good. Elements of chemistry, just in case the librarian's like, here's a list of books you can get. Excuse me. How can I help you? I'd like to borrow a book. Could you tell me how it works? It's a fucking library, dude. Certainly. You see that card file cabinet over there? Yes. It contains index cards that have the book titles in alphabetical order. Use the file cabinet and find your book's index card. The card will show your book's collection and the author's name. When you have that information, enter the library. Find the correct collection number and search the books by the author's name. I have a master's degree in library and information studies. I could have handled this. When you have found your book, bring it here for checkout. You must have a student card to borrow books. But you can also study them here without it. All right. But what if I want to search the books by category? The card file cabinet has an index locker at the bottom corner. It has a categorized list of all the books in the library. Thanks. But how do I get my student card? I would like to know more about the student card. Certainly. With the card, you can have 2 books borrowed at the same time. The card costs $2, but I also need a recent headshot photograph from you. And where can I get this photograph? There's the Prescott's photography studio on Church Street. It's a bit expensive, but they work fast. All right. I'll add the location to my map. Okay, can't buy the student card until we have the photograph. I'm inclined to say do that right away. But we'll see. I understand that you have a special collection of rare and unusual books. How can I borrow them? You can't. Huh? The head librarian, Dr. Armitage, changed the policy about a year ago. The special collection books are kept separately from the other books for safety reasons. But surely it's possible to study them. Yes, it is. You can reserve a time to study the books here at the university. All inquiries about the special collection go to Dr. Armitage. His office is through that door on your right. Okay, I'll go see him then. I'm sorry, but Dr. Armitage is absent at the moment. He should be available in a day or 2. I see. Goodbye. Okay. Let's go get this dork a portrait. A joke I made that, it's a niche intersection style joke, so this might not hit, even if you're into Lovecraft. But we were watching old seasons of Drag Race somewhat recently, and the drag queen Gigi Good, when she's out of drag, I said the way I described her was she looks like H.P. Lovecraft if he had ever experienced a moment of happiness. All right. Hopefully, she said they're expensive, but this is the 20s. So it could be like, they're expensive, like cost $1. You enter Prescott's photography store and ask for a headshot picture. And just like, she has that kind of like long face going and stuff, but like, just is like a pretty vibrant person. $2. So yeah, it's expensive, but it's inflation adjusted expensive. We can afford it. We need it. Bam. Get your newspaper. The photograph turned out all right. Professional work. But a bit too expensive for my liking. I wish there was a cheaper alternative. Get your newspaper. Hello. Good day, sir. I'll buy a newspaper. I'd like to buy a newspaper. $1, please. $1, please. Have a good day now, mister. Get your newspaper. All right, I'm just going to throw out here. That's a rate. Like, he's complaining about the $2 photograph, but not the $1 in 1920, like, 6 or whatever this is. Wait, hold on. 1929. Okay, let's read the paper. Arkham Advertiser, Monday, March 1st. There's a free health checkup at the Arkham Regional Health Center today. I'll add the event location to my map. Uh-oh. Does this mean I'm full? Wait, but I can just eat, right? I'm going to save just in case. This is just a learning the systems save. If I don't want to accidentally waste my one food item. Blech. Satiated. Okay, I think that was the right move. I can go get a free health checkup, but my health is 10. Why would I want to know anything different? You go get the checkup and they're like, ooh, sorry to inform you, you're actually a 6. Back to school. Hold on, do I have a watch? Oh, it's dusk. Egad. I hope the library is open into the early evening. Seems like it. It also doesn't... It's not working hard at all to give us the impression of dusk. Excuse me. How can I help you? I would like to... I'd like to buy the student card. Oh, had the line right. Do you have a recent photograph of you? Yes. Very good. $2, please. Here you go. And your name is? Walter Gilman. All right. It usually takes a day or two for the card to be ready. When it's done, I'll have it here for you. Very well, thanks. Walter, honestly, even though he's a young man, seems like the kind of guy who should be saying, you know, thank you, not thanks. You can shuffle the papers quickly by using the arrow keys or the mouse wheel. Ooh, I haven't used my mouse wheel in a point-and-click adventure game yet. Elementary forms of, elements of algebra, elements of chemistry. Let's take a look. This is the exam book that I need. I'll find it in collection 3 in the library. I have no ability to judge how much the game is going to remember this shit for me. So hold on. Finding a good notebook. Antoine Lavoisier. Hopefully not a French Catholic. That's me making fun of Lovecraft. Don't personally have a problem with papists on principle. I'm having fun voicing a boring protagonist. It's not quite as, obviously, plucky girl is the ideal protagonist for me, but I'll take what I can get. And it's novel. Call number lab. Elements of chemistry. Okay. We can't even take this home, but maybe I can get a bit of studying in today. Kind of crazy they haven't. I mean, it's 1929, but like, seems like school started and the exam is so soon. Wait, what's the date again? It's March. Why? I don't know. I think that was a time-changing thing. But hopefully, I can still do this. Okay, to collection 3. My study book should be here somewhere. The author of the book was Lavoisier. So I need to go through the books filed under the letter L. Yeah, it's a library, man. Why are you saying this out loud to yourself? I appreciate it, I guess. Elements of chemistry. To the study. I do love when adventure games do this. What should I start to study? Walter can use this table to study math, the occult. Surely that'll work out well for him. Exams or chemistry. Use the correct book on the table to start studying. Another study location can be found at Walter's room. Yeah, but that's not going to work today. The exam skill represents Walter's knowledge on the current course subject, 10 being the maximum. Reading the course book will increase the skill and unlock exam answers. If the subject is math-based, Walter's math skill will be added to the exam skill. An element is a substance that cannot be broken down by any known method of chemical analysis. It's an elemental substance. The university is closing for the day. Studied for 5 hours after dusk. I need to return all the library books that I didn't check out. Oh, but he does it automatically. I'm okay with that, although, obviously, anyone who's seen me, if you watched the streams before, you know that I love when they really make you do the mechanics in an adventure game. I was a big fan of Julia Minamata's The Crimson Diamond, another recent, contemporary point-and-click riff. Okay. I thought we might get our first scare, but no. I didn't boost. Oh, my okay. There are decimal numbers. They just don't show them here, like on this menu. And they do max out at 10. So even adding decimals. Okay. I am full on tired, but I'm warm and dry, so I don't need to start a fire. I don't know why he's carrying this firewood with him, but it doesn't seem to affect him in any negative way. Let's get some sleep. Hopefully this is not the... This isn't the witch house. Maybe we'll have normal dreams. Getting a good night's sleep is very important. It reduces tiredness and sickness and heals injuries. A good sleep also grants a small sanity bonus. If the sleep is disturbed, the positive effects are much lower. What a lousy sleep. I could hear rats scurrying around inside the walls. That was not what that sounded like to me. Hey, I'm rested. I'm still satiated, but we're going to get hungry. So today is a day where we'll have to take care of that. I know what day it is. I know what's up. March 2. Remind myself quickly. What's coming up on the calendar? It's Tuesday, March 2nd, 1929. Next lecture is March 4th. Next exam is March 10th. It's a tight turnaround, but, you know, whatever. It's their thing. Let's see if we can complain about the rats yet. Coming! Yes, what is it now? Good, here we go. The scurrying of the rats is distracting me. I can't sleep because of it. This is a very old house, so of course there will be rats. Just try to ignore them, you'll get used to the sound. Or if you can't, buy a pair of earplugs. Okay. Buy. Still have $6 for my starting funds, right? 7. So I'm not gonna be a pack mule yet. A package. Is it for me? There's a package lying on the table. It's too big to fit in the mailbox, so it's been left on the table. Is it addressed to you? Hail British. Happy Sunday. I don't know. Everything looks correct on my end. So I think it's Twitch playing tricks on you. Is anybody else having the experience? Jimmy, is it saying right on? Earthbound was yesterday. All right. I assume this is the package. I don't know how it got there so fast. The package is addressed to me. It's from Aunt Margaret. Let's see what we have here. It's my electric flashlight. Excellent. Witchy James. Hold on. Was there another thing too? No, just the flashlight, but he's glad it's here. And yeah, I bet we're going to find occasion to use the flashlight in this game. Let's go to school. I'm not sure I need to go outside in order to do this, but if I find time, I should also go downtown. Cedric! Welcome! Happy Sunday. I know that you already know this. This was a great recommendation, Cedric. Right up my alley. Wonder if this student, I have nothing to say to him. He's the Lovecraft protagonist. A taciturn, stiff-shirted, too much starch in his collar, New England patrician. The one thing is, like, the last time I was in grad school was for library studies, so I was never nearly as much of a naif about how to. Wait, do I even have my card yet? Or yeah, is my card ready? Come on. Excuse me. How can I help you? Is my student card ready yet? What was your name again? Walter Gilman? Let's see. Yes, I have it right here. Enjoy your new card. Thanks. Whoa, alright, yeah. I feel about 1/5 of a percentage point more sane. Wait, no. That's not, no, 2 percentage points. Because it's a 10-point scale, right? Anyway. Okay. Goodbye. Now, We're going to borrow the book that we need. And then I can study at home. Hopefully with earplugs. I'm going to go try to get some earplugs downtown. See if we can keep Walter sane for as long as possible. Obviously, a key part of this library thing is that we're going to be discovering some knowledge that we shouldn't at some point. Excuse me. How can I help you? Could you explain to me again how to borrow books from the library? Use the file cabinet. Find your book's index card. The card will show you your book's collection and the author's name. When you have that information, enter the library. Yeah, I've done all these parts. Find the correct collection number. Search the books by the author's name. I really just meant the borrowing procedure. When you found your book, bring it here. So it's just use the item on her. Yeah, we're not going to read all that again. Excuse me. Yes. I'd like to borrow this book. Certainly. Can I see your student card? Thank you, Mr. Gilman. Have a good day, sir. I think that the when static, as far as recent point-and-click adventures with a bit of throwback aesthetic go, I think that Julia Minamata in the Crimson Diamond, I feel like her EGA static pictures kind of hang together a little bit better. But I really like the character designs in this, and the animations are great. And it's not like I'm saying the graphics here are bad. I just did quite like. I should probably go to the coffee house. I don't know why. Get your newspaper. Why am I looking at this? Oh, I popped this up to see. Yeah, I'm a bit peckish. But maybe I can have something at the place. I don't feel like probably buying the newspapers is a more important quest. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the First National. Our selection is the finest in the city. What you don't find here, you don't need. Now, what'll it be? Here's what we have. Doesn't sell earplugs. Cigarettes. Now with less of throat irritation. I think the imperfect grammar there makes it better. Rations. Canned tomato soup. Cheese crackers. All the nutrition you need for a day. I should probably buy one. Razor blades. Set of blades. Sharp as a razor. Can of glue. Strong wood glue that dries quickly. Raincoat. Weatherproof rubberless raincoat. Keep you dry from light rain. Thermal underwear. Keep you warm in the cold spring nights. Warmth without bulk. Flashlight, but we have one of those. I guess it can't hurt to buy some rations just in case I need them. We're not going to have Walter start smoking yet. Oh, wow. Not even a, are you sure? Goodbye. Get your newspaper. Oh, maybe the pharmacy has earplugs. Definitely has toiletries. Good morning, sir. We have remedies for whatever may ail you. Tonics and elixirs from gout to gonorrhea. All tried and tested quality products. Now, how can I help you? Well, hopefully, here's what we have. Wax earplugs. Alright. We're getting to, like, might have to do some odd jobs tomorrow on the day before school starts. They're good for 5 days. So, especially now, while the thing making it hard to sleep is just, as far as we know, naturally occurring sound. These wax and earplugs block noise very effectively and guarantee a good night's sleep and tranquil repose. Thank you, sir. What else can we get? Pain relief? Sleeping? Well, removes all the negative effects of physical injuries while sleeping, resting, or studying. 5 doses. Sleeping pills. Removes all the negative effects and noise distractions while sleeping. 5 doses. Cold medicine. So we could skip the earplugs for the same price, start popping pills. Cold medicine. Doubles the healing effect of rest and halves the sickness growth speed. 4 doses. So long. However, in the interest of getting to know the town that he's going to be living and studying in, even though he's got some rations on him, he's going to save the rations and see if we can get a light lunch at the coffee house. And who knows, maybe some stimulating conversation. Eating at the coffee house restores 3 levels of hunger. Having a coffee removes tiredness for a while and restores a small amount of hunger. That's not how coffee works. I guess I'll do a meal for now. Oh, nice. Tasty. 1 hour passes. But hey, check it out. We're satiated. Oh, getting a little tired. We're not that tired. It's only noon. Why are you getting tired, dude? Get your newspaper. Yes, I am going to just randomly read that repeated line of dialogue from the newsie. Let me think. I mean, what else am I really doing here? I should go study at home. Or, I mean, I am already getting tired. No odd jobs yet. Odd jobs tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything. Ah! A rat. Disgusting. It probably has a nest between the walls. I need to mention this to Mrs. Dombrowski. What I'm concerned about is just the horrific size of that rat. Also, like, can we at least pull the chest in front of the door? Like, you're a grown man. Your landlord should take care of this, but you can take palliative measures. Let's go talk to Dombrowski and then study. Did that affect my sanity? I don't know. Coming! Yes, what is it now? Yeah, I'd like to complain. There was a big rat in my room. It came from the rat hole in the corner of my room. Can you do something about it? Yeah. Oh dear. Wait a moment. I'll go get a piece of wood and nails so you can nail it shut. So I can. Do I get like $1 off my week's lodging? Joe Mazurowicz's brother borrowed my hammer, but he hasn't returned it. He never remembers to bring back what he borrows. Go ask Mazurowicz to give you the hammer back. He's in room number 1. Here's the plank and some nails. Thanks. Mazurowicz is probably at work now. He'll come back in the evening. Very well. Now, was that all? Shouldn't I have a dialogue option to ask her why she's letting Polish people board here? Isn't this Lovecraft? And again, I know, but I feel obliged to say the disclaimer. I'm making fun of H.P. Lovecraft. I don't have a problem with Eastern European people. Is Poland even considered Eastern Europe? Or is that Central Europe? You know what? I should stop digging myself in a hole with the Poles. I'm just going to drop it. My. Goodbye. Suppose there's no reason not to check my mail, even though I probably don't have any. Nothing. All right. Well, it's noon. I'm a little tired. Maybe I'll rest and then study. Gotta find out what rest is anyway. Just in case I turn out to regret it. While we're learning the mechanics. Just in case it's like, 7 hours go by or something. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to rest. Resting is a useful way to skip time. Well, it doesn't remove tiredness. A good rest heals... Fuck off. A good rest heals injuries and sickness and grants a small sanity bonus if the rest time is 3 hours or more. It's not going to deal with tiredness. I'll be fine, thank you. Guess I should have had some coffee and then eaten afterwards. Oh well. Oh, and I have to study math as well. But hold on. Little chemistry study today. Maybe some maths in there. I'll put my earplugs in just in case. Lavoisier classified the elements into 4 groups. Elastic fluids, non-metals, metals, and earths. All right. We've now achieved a full number. Okay, hopefully dusk is evening and not after evening. And we can go talk to Mazurowitsk. It's open. Excuse me. Yes, I'm Walter Gilman, fellow lodger here. Mrs. Dombrowski said that you have her hammer? Can I borrow it? Oh, yes, I forgot all about it. I'm busy right now, but come on in. It's lying somewhere around here. Well, I'm sure you can find it yourself. Oh, okay, I'll look around then. Well, let's try the toolbox first. There's nothing here that I can use as a hammer. Check the crate. Nothing here. The crate is just blocking access to the shelf. What about this one? There's nothing in the crate. I'll make some more space here. Okay, look in the cabinet. It's a big rack gonna jump out. I'm jump scare primed right now. The crate is blocking the way. Well, move it. I'll move this out of the way. It's a block pushing puzzle. Oh, hey. Can of glue. Bottles. But I shouldn't just steal this can of glue. It's locked. It looks like a valve or a gear of some sort. It's probably part of a loom. Okay. We ever have to weave something? Nothing interesting here. I'll move this out of the way. Oh, good. Floorboard with a hole. Looks like there's something shiny inside this hole. I need to remove the board to get it. Okay. Can I remove the board just with my hands? Can't fit my hand through the hole. I thought this was the same dialogue. I need to remove the floorboard, but I need some tools for that. Does this guy mind if I'm prying up his floorboard? Nothing here I can use as a hammer. Okay, what about in this clutter? There is a pair of tweezers here, but I don't need them right now. Mazurowitsk has tweezers. Couldn't you use the tweezers to reach into the hole? Feels like that might be the key in there. Is that part of a loom? A crucifix showing Christ hanging on the cross. Joe must be a religious person. Sort through the clutter. I might have use for this crowbar. Did you take it? Yes. Excellent. What about the cabinet? It's locked. Ooh, we're getting tired. Hey, Joe. There's something under this floorboard. Can I remove it and see what's inside? What? Well, I guess so. When you find the hammer, you can put the board back in place. If I find the hammer. All right, let's see what's inside. Well, normal possibility, it's the key to the cabinets. There's also the entire realm of terrifying possibilities. Let's find it. Just stick your hand into the hole. What could happen? I found a small key. It might be useful. I would not be groping. Once I knew that the giant rats were inhabiting the place. Let's see if the key fits the lock. Damn. The key doesn't fit. Looks like there's a broken key inside the lock. Okay, well, by process of elimination, I found the handle for the hammer. It's missing the top part. Oh, I forgot about that. Hammer broke in two while I was fixing a spindle. Great. It's not a big deal. You can easily fix it. I hope so. Okay. While he was fixing the spindle, do I now have to find a spindle? Oh, multiple levels of clutter. I found the top part of the hammer. I have the hammer parts now. Great. It's all yours. I don't need it anymore. Is it this easy? Good enough? It should work now. Well, let's hope the game's not literal about nails. I'd better nail this back into place. Oh, you can just use the nails that are already in the board. Done. Thanks, Walter. I mean, great. I'm glad you're thankful, I suppose, but like, yeah, it's all good. It's full on evening now. I should give Joe his crowbar back before I leave. That New England patrician politeness. Here's your crowbar back. He wasn't even holding it in the first place. Just put it down. Thanks. You can see he's kind of irritated. You didn't need to hand this to me. Just leave it by the door. In my mind, Joe is a second generation immigrant. So I'm just doing... I thought for a moment, then I decided, nah, he's just doing Sethy. See you around, Walter. Where'd you say your room is? It's the Garrett Gable room in the right wing. Just say the fucking number, dude. Pretentious. No! What is it? She should know better than to rent that old room. What? Ask Mrs. Dombrowski to give you another room. Why? It's getting late. Let's talk later. Stay safe, Walter. That was very effective for me. I got chills. I got the feeling he didn't tell me everything he knows. Maybe I can somehow persuade him to tell me more. Task added. But the task is not get a different room. It's... Ooh, I'm supposed to study the Oh, right. I want to study the special collection, but I need to meet the professor first. Yeah, like, I wouldn't... You don't want to stay in that room anymore. Maybe one more night's fine. But it's desperately urgent you don't stay 2 more nights in that room. But yeah, ooh. Like, fuck, I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's the Lovecraft story about the sorcerer who is possessing the body, like stealing the body of his young descendants to keep on resurrecting himself. And there's a part where a guy writes like this rambling letter about this, you know, leech, I guess we could call him, writes a desperate letter to the protagonist where it says, if you see this character, shoot him immediately, and then in italics, and dissolve his body. Yes, the case of Charles Dexter Ward. And I think it is Ward that he said, if you see, shoot him immediately and dissolve his body in acid. Do not burn him. And it's just like just a sudden emphasis, and you're just like, oh, that's like that moment of wrongness. But that sudden reaction of like Joe just suddenly like going from being like this totally chill character who's like, come to my room, pry up the floorboard, you little nerd, if you're interested. And then you just say which room you're in. He's like, no. Not looking forward to going and trying to fix that board. Fix the rat hole. I thought the story worked, but it is true. Like, you gotta, like, I feel like if you're writing a lot of horror short fiction, you need a few happy endings in there. And you need I feel like you need a balance that's a little bit tilted towards bad endings because that's more effective horror, but it's not if we know it's going to happen every single time and be bad. To me, at least. The opposite is worst. Like, I loved Lovecraft Country because it's a really imaginative novel with great characters, cool story and stuff. But fairly early on, you realize this guy loves his protagonists and nothing bad is going to happen to them at any point. And it so after like the first 2 segments of the book, there's no more fear or tension. Just cool imagery and like a fun story. I'm not even sure, given that the Lovecraftian horrors there are kind of a metaphor for racism, that I would want bad things to be happening to the characters. Let's seal this hole. This will keep the beast away. So I don't even necessarily think it was the wrong choice for Lovecraft County. That would be a good twist. My favorite investigation that I ever ran of Call of Cthulhu was a like prefab one, but the way they set it up was to be non-linear. So the materials give you like some location maps and a backstory and then a bunch of characters, and it tells you everything the characters know and like who they are and what their motivations are. And then at the bottom of most of the character profiles, there's if they were the killer in the mystery, this might be why they did it. Doesn't have to be, but like this could be your hook. And then you've got to choose the villain. And so I picked who I wanted to be the villain, except I stole the case of Charles Dexter Ward. And so the real villain was her ancestor. It was a lot. I had a lot of fun with that. Okay. I'm high level tired. Probably shouldn't study anymore. Yeah. And it led to just an absolutely crazy slapstick horror ending where the witch was trying to use possession magic. And so like the characters are turning on each other and like losing their sanity and like snapping out of it and fighting each other and flopping around. It was very fun. I really want to play that game again sometime soon. Got to figure out who to play with and find the time in my life to do anything. All right. Well, here goes nothing. I want to sleep. If the rats are just tearing the board out of the wall. I'll put my earplugs in just in case. Yeah, good call, Walter. I slept well. Oh no. The rat hole cover has been devoured. The rats must be ravenous. Also, why is it night if I slept for 8 hours from the evening? It's a nasty, big rat hole. The ugly rat seems to have a nest in there. That ugly rat. Looks empty, but the hole goes deeper into the darkness. It's too dark to see anything in there. There's also a nasty, rank-smelling odor coming from the hole. Okay. I'm just a little thrown off by the way that it did not become daytime when I slept for 8 hours. I kind of want to go... Okay. But I saved so long ago. Wait, if I look at the clock, can I find out exactly what time it is? It's a cheap mantle clock. I had to stop it because of its noisy ticking. Oh, you intolerable nerd. Okay. I would like daytime to come. So let's see. Let's experiment with some rest. A good rest. What a cold day it is. The insulation in this room seems to be non-existent. But I'm still warm yet. Although, obviously, there's a lesson here. I'm going to... Well, I'm going to make a fire tonight. Probably want to spend some money on a coat, in addition to getting more food. How much money do I have left? $2. Let's see if we can do some odd jobs. Oh, free newspaper. Somebody has left a newspaper on the table. It's today's newspaper. Read it, man. No one will miss it if I take it. You could also just read it and put it back down for the next. Yeah. Like, I didn't play Final Fantasy 15, but I watched my ex play it after I bought it for them as a gift. And like the ending is super rushed in that game, but I loved the take on the like world of ruin where it's just the sun's gone now. If that segment of the game had been like a real segment, it would have been amazing. Arkham Advertiser, Wednesday, March 3rd. There's an interesting concert today. Arkham Philharmonic Orchestra plays Stravinsky. Tickets, $1. Okay, maybe I'll want to do that. If I can afford it, which I suppose would require me to make some money somehow. Because my allowance isn't coming for several more days. Or Walter's allowance. Coming! Yes, what is it now? Oh, yeah, also. Rat hole's a thing. And we wanted to... Okay, we got things we want to talk about. The rats devoured the plank that I used to cover the rat hole in my room. Do you have another that I could use? That would not be my reaction. No, that was the only plank. I see. Well, what are we going to do about this issue? I can't have rats running around in my room. Go and ask Mizurowitz. He hauls all kinds of junk to his place. Lumber, scrap metal, whatnot. Very well. I'll ask him then. Good. Now, was that all? Well, no. Because speaking of Mizurowitz, I had a little chat with Joe Mizurowitz, and he said that I should get another room. What? He wouldn't tell me more, but he was quite upset when he heard where my room is. Would you happen to know what he meant? Mazurowitz is a drunk and a superstitious fool. You shouldn't listen to his ramblings. They will give you ideas. Yes, but there is nothing wrong with the room. I checked it and cleaned it thoroughly before you moved in. Did you? What about the rat hole? Now, did you have anything else to ask, or was that it? I think that, obviously the manager here, Dombrowski, is being absurdly lackadaisical about this rat hole. And, we only have one plank and stuff. But I think Walter is underreacting to the fact that the rat ate the plank. The rat a giant rat tore the board I nailed over its hole off and ate it whole while I was sleeping. Well, can I get some odd jobs? You mentioned that you could offer some work. I could use some help around the house. And the payment? $2 for a day's work. Let's see what needs to be done. The yard could use raking. It's covered with leaves and fallen branches. Easy work. Then there's the rain gutters. They are clogged and could use cleaning. You're not afraid of heights, are you? What else there was? Yes, the firewood. There's a big pile of firewood in the backyard that needs chopping. Surely Mazurowitz is the guy for that job. Do you know how to handle an axe? But are you sure you want to do this now? It's freezing outside. Yeah, that's a good point. No, I'm not doing it now. On second thought, I'd rather not do this now. Suit yourself. Bye. Farewell. Okay, so I gotta stretch my $2, but at least when I get hungry, I've got my rations for the day. Obviously, if I'm going out, I'm going to want to stay warm, but I don't have any outdoorsy stuff I'm going to have to do. Probably. Okay. No answer. Joe must be at work. Yes, I agree with that. All right. Okay. Well. All right, the city event. Oh, but that'll be the last of my money to get tickets. And then I have the first day of class tomorrow, but I should go to the event. Okay. The game is, the economy matters, which is good. What'll I do today? Last day before school starts. Worst case scenario, I blow it up so badly by making bad choices at the start that I just have to restart at the start of next time and make different choices. The event doesn't start until evening. Damn it, that's also my opportunity to fucking be like, Joe, can you elaborate on the accursed nature of my room? Well, it's cold. I'm gonna stay and study in my room. I'm hopeful that daytime cold, I'm not gonna harm myself by studying inside. If I do, the more fool me. And I'm gonna let this get worse to find out if it, gets much better when I do my thing. When I eat the rations. Because they're supposed to be 1 day of food, so will that always get the meter all the way? We'll find out. Study some more chemistry. Walter's a tryhard, so his first class, his first exam, he wants to be ready. I'll put my earplugs in just in case. Lavoisier recognized and named oxygen and hydrogen. I'm hungry. I should get a bite to eat. I'm freezing. Walter is freezing. When Walter is freezing or drenched for a few hours, there's a possibility he gets sick. Best way to avoid this is to warm up the fireplace. If he's already sick, gets drenched or freezing cold, the sickness will increase significantly faster. Health down 1. Because yeah, okay. This is one that I'm going to award myself a save load. Like a reload. Because that was pure mechanical exploration. I wanted to know. And now that I know, I'm going to do the responsible thing, start a fire. Which hopefully Walter can somehow do with just a log. Even though, quite frankly, Walter strikes me as the kind of guy who would struggle to start a fire in a fireplace, even with modern tools. The firewood is ready to be lit now. Okay. I'm not holding anything that would light the firewood. I don't know. Fuel for the fire. There's 1 batch of firewood left. Okay, great, but let's see if we can ask Mrs. Dombrowski. Coming. Yes, what is it now? Nope. And bye. Okay, so the answer. So we're gonna do what I do try to do in the winter. We're gonna go to the university and have them pay for the heat. It's like for me, it's like a 90-second walk difference between working at home in my home office and working in my office. So I quite often wind up being like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Okay, I gotta run to the washer. So let's take a brief intermission, folks. And we will find out what horrors... Oh, I need to work on theory papers too. Okay. We got work to do. Hang tight, gang. I'll be right back with you. We're back at it. Okay. I have about 30 to 40 minutes left before I have to do a thing. Oh, there's a special note. Let's read it. Missing. Lost student card somewhere in main building. If found, please return it to Allison Whitman or the library. Additional information at the library information desk. $1 reward offered. A side quest. Okay. Well, let's explore the university grounds a bit more then. Maybe Walter can be the hero. Okay. Well, that's the way to the creepy basement. Auditorium. Okay, there's not a ton of exploration to be done here. Display case. The display case has information on Miskatonic University's history. It was founded in 1767 by a group of wealthy Arkham gentry. During the 19th century, the university started to earn its reputation throughout the academic community. Its impressive library, and especially the rare, esoteric volumes, attracted the attention of scholars from across the globe. Currently, it's considered to be one of the most prestigious universities in the US, on par with Harvard. Or so they tell themselves. Somebody has left the door unlocked. I guess I could take a quick peek inside. Law of economy of space suggests that a student card has been left in here. But let's find it. There's a small empty space under the cabinet. I need to take a closer look to see if something's there. Oh, of course. It's a lecture auditorium. I was like, oh, it's the Arts Center. There's a paper with lecture notes, but I don't need that. Let's see if there's something else there. I can't reach there properly. My hand can't fit all the way in there. It's okay. I've solved this adventure game puzzle already. I can't carry the pointer with me, but maybe I can use it here. Let's see if I can use the pointer to probe around under the cabinet. Nothing there. Well, that's anticlimactic. Okay. Can I put it back down for now? Yes. Put it down for now. Let's see if there's another thing we have need for. Search the lectern. Ahem. Today we will be talking about... No, this is silly. Perfect characterization. When Walter Gilman gets whimsical, he does a boring lecture. He imagines himself as a boring university lecturer. And then he's like, no. This kind of whimsy is unbecoming. Let's see what's inside. Nothing here. Hopefully we can search the rows as well, but let's find it. Chemistry table. Take a look. Yeah. It's a complicated looking chemistry set. I don't know how to use it. I need to study chemistry if I want to know more. When we were saying earlier about how Lovecraft has no characters, the university's library might have a suitable book for that. Task added. Learn chemistry. Yep, that'll help us get a grade of B or better on the exam on the 10th. But that Lovecraft, all of his narrators, or not all of them, but most of them are clearly a character, because they're characters that they're H.P. Lovecraft. A boring, stuffy, New England patrician type. This game is doing a great job. That this game's Walter Gilman is absolutely a Lovecraft narrator. but he's characterized. Like he's fully like he's a guy. They managed to make this dude is boring into a character that works for the protagonist so far. I'm really digging this. I'm impressed with this game. Yes. Can we check each bench individually? No sign of the missing student card here. No sign of the missing student. Okay, at least he knows what quest we're on. We're working together. I think he would find Connor gauche. My telephone is ringing. Hang tight, gang. I'll be right back with you. Okay. Turns out when Danielle told me earlier that we were going for 1, she meant that we have to arrive at 1. So I got to wrap up very soon. But let's see. Can we complete the task? Carpet. There's like a corner up on the carpet. Could it be so simple? I can't lift the carpet. It's been nailed to the floor. Is this something that we can probe with the pointer? It was a good idea, but it didn't work. I can't tell if there's anything under the carpet. It'd be much easier if I could just lift the corner. You have a goddamn hammer. I'm getting cold, even in the university. They're not heating the place, but I'm not freezing. Let's see if I can remove some of the nails. Done. Nothing. I'd better hammer the nails back in. Somebody might trip over it. Done. Okay. I guess we could, if these drawers aren't locked, we can check them, but why would the student ID card be in there? Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. The door is locked. I can't open it. There's chemical bottles on the other side of the glass. I believe they are used in the chemistry experiments performed here in the auditorium. Exit. Is there a bench entity that I did not click on? Benches. Bench. That all one? Yeah. Okay. Can I use the pointer? But there's no like under these benches. But let me try. No. Okay. It won't do anything. There's nothing to point at there. Okay. Interesting. I don't need to open the windows. Well, there's no exit in this direction. There's no student card on the floor that I could see. A couple of portraits. It's a painting of an authoritative, yet kindly-looking, pale old man. A small plaque reads, Dr. Alan Halsey, 1865 to 1925, Dean of the Medical School. I remember reading about his heroic actions during the typhoid plague a few years ago. The portrait of a rugged, elderly man with a fiery look behind his eyes. A small plaque reads, Henry Cutler, 1720 to 1792, first president of Miskatonic University. Can we look under this carpet at all? No. Oh, wait, hold on. No, my face is not concealing the obvious placement of a student card on the floor there. We can't turn the corners here. So it's a very restricted area. And did this not say lost on the first floor? Somewhere in the main building. Okay. I only have a couple more minutes here. So let's very quickly. Maybe I can have a breakthrough. Otherwise, we'll just, try again next time. But it can't hurt to just look in all the collections. In fact, maybe, I'm not going to do this today, but perhaps the puzzle here is to talk to the librarian for more information. Maybe I can interview her, find out, oh yeah, Allison, whatever. I remember she was here yesterday. Maybe it's a matter of finding the book that she was reading in the library that she accidentally left her card in. Ooh, this could be something someday. Okay. So we only really got to dip our toes today. But oh my goodness. The water is cold, but in a good way. Yeah, I'm not seeing the card just obviously dropped on the floor. And perhaps it's obviously dropped in the basement that we haven't gone in yet. Okay. At least, shouldn't it become warm when we're here? Or do I have to actually go over and warm myself by the fire? Ah. Excellent. Okay. Well. Okay. We're going to hang out with our dear friends who I love. So that's good. But I gotta say, I'm disappointed to be stopping because I'm tantalized by this game. Next week is going to be off the charts. Very, very excited to play more of this. Okay. But I guess we got to wrap up. So I'm not going to make a new save. I'm hungry. I should get a bite to eat. You'll eat your rations and you'll like it. But yeah. Okay. Cool. By next week, I'm going to go back. Thanks, British. Yeah, exactly. You guys are so energetic and fun and flamboyant. Can't we all be a little bit dry and proper for once? Josh is going to hug me when he sees me. I'll be like, could we not have just exchanged a stiff nod? Have a snifter of brandy together? All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Next week, we really dive into the horror. And by next week, I'll reread the short story so I can catch key elements and cool things and whatever. Cool. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I don't know if special enough occasion for a hand, like two men to be touching. Maybe like when you first meet, when you graduate university, if a loved one dies, you're consoling them. All right. This is great. This is great. Yeah, we're going to have fun with this, especially when we can really dig in on it. So check it out. Where are we going from here? It's actually a kind of confusing week coming ahead. But not because, here's the thing. We know we can't do Friday Night Frosthaven on Friday, so we've made a list of potential alternate days, and now it's my job to start being like, so which one? One of them is Wednesday, which might throw into question when or if we're doing Greg and James Beat 'em Up. But let's assume that on Wednesday it's Greg and James Beat 'em Up. We're playing Double Dragon 1, which is not a game, an official Double Dragon game. It's a fan game made for it's like a Neo Geo game, but made by fans in the modern era. Seems pretty cool. We're gonna check it out. It's one of those things I'm a little trepidatious because the developer promoted it to us by commenting on our YouTube video. Like, hey, check this out. I said, hey, we'll check it out. We'll play it on stream. But I feel obliged to, like, you know, I have a responsibility to the audience to say what I honestly feel when I'm playing a game. So I certainly hope they did an excellent job. Because I'm not just going to say it to be nice, even though I try to be a nice guy. Friday Night Frosthaven, not on Friday, but hopefully on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday, I think was our list. And then next Saturday, a totally different flavor of cosmic horror. We're playing Earthbound. We've got the whole team together. We've hit 6, I believe, of the 8 Your Sanctuary locations. We got to get to Scarava, past the Kraken. Things are heating up in Earthbound. We're approaching, you know, the big third act, the climax, all this stuff. Friggin' love this game. It's been great to replay. And then next Sunday, deeper dive into the deeper dark. Dreams of the Witch House. Yeah, this is cool. Thanks again for the rec, Cedric. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all. That's all there is. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came, you left, can't hear my voice. I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we're, you know, trying to warm ourselves by the fire together, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet. And it's Pride Month, so if you get the chance, kiss a boy.